relationship stuff going on here, but we will clarify that. So, Two of Cups. Second half of April, very much about relationships. Now, say that, and people think relationships are just romantic relationships. They are not. The Two of Cups relates to a connection that we have. It can be romantic, yes. And for a lot of you, it probably will be romantic. But it can also be, family, work, business. The main point of this card, and it's just the Two of Cups. A lot of people think this is the be-all and end-all of a relationship. What this card speaks about is a connection that you have with someone, and the two of you have the same emotion, right? Cups. We start off with the Ace of Cups. The cycle begins with the Ace, which is where you have a feeling. And the Two of Cups, you meet someone who shares that feeling. Now, it may be the feeling that you have for each other. You're both on the same page when it comes to a project. You're both on the same page when it comes to a friendship. Like, this can be the perfect friend that shows up when you need them. So it is about the connection. Now, the thing with the Two of Cups is there's a long way to go before that cycle completes. We have the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, etc., right, until we get to the 10. And the Two of Cups speaks about, yes, you have a connection. What are you going to do with this connection? Now, how does this play out as an underlying energy? Well, it can speak of your focus. End of April is, who do you have a connection with? Who is this relationship with? Be it romantic, in whatever area of your life this applies to. It may be in general, you're thinking, well, I lack this kind of a connection. I would love a connection with someone who is just on the same page as me. Someone who gets, where I'm coming from in any given situation. For others of you, this might be a relationship that you are dealing with. Like, you might be in a relationship like that, or you've met someone and you have that connection with them, but you're not quite sure where to take it or what's going to happen next. Both people's free will is involved. And it's one of those interesting things where people often ask me, like, does this person love me? Or how do they feel about me? Some people are not ruled by their feelings, which can be a strange concept for a lot of people to understand. But I know people who they're very much deeply in love with someone within that relationship, but, they will overrule their heart and they will go with, I need to focus on work right now. I need to focus on something else right now. So it's very interesting to get this. It is a profound connection. Like, please don't make it sound, I hope I'm not making it sound like I'm playing it down. The connection is profound. When this comes up, you are either connecting with someone in that way or you want to connect with someone in that way. But then we have the Two of Swords coming up here at the heart of the reading. So another two, where we are talking about partnerships here. But with the Two of Swords, there might be conflict. So, when I see, if we're looking at cups as the heart and swords as the head, right? The mind, our thoughts, our beliefs, our ideas. The Two of Swords can show conflict. It can show two opposing ideas, two opposing arguments. So you might be with someone that you love very deeply, or, you have that profound connection with them, but you're clashing at this time. That's what the Two of Swords can show, clashing of two swords, right? But this card also indicates a choice or decision that needs to be made within a situation. And it's difficult to make because there are two opposing ideas. And that's why this person, she has her two swords crossed in front of her chest to protect herself, right? Protect her heart. And it's like willfully not wanting to see something. Why? Because it's going to hurt you. If you have a look at it, then you're going to have to make a decision. And sometimes we're not ready for that. It's like, please, no more. I don't want to deal with this right now. This can be that kind of an energy. The other thing with the Two of Swords coming up here is like she has her back to the sea and she's blindfolded, right? So it's like not looking at how you feel. So this might be in a situation where somebody, and it's general readings, that could be you or someone who's very kind of central to your story right now, dealing with their energies. Maybe you're dealing with someone else not doing this. They're ignoring how they feel. So somebody might be aware that they have this profound connection, but, they're like, I don't want to make a decision about this right now because there's too much other stuff that's going on. Twos they can indicate partnerships, like I said, but also choices that need to be made. The choice about head or heart is coming up here very strongly with the Two of Cups and the Two of Swords. Now, why is this here? What's happening from this? Well, we have the Princess of Pentacles or the Page of Pentacles coming up as a past energy. And this pages, or the princesses in this deck, they can refer to offers or messages that we receive. And the Princess of Pentacles in particular is something that's going to offer us, or she offers us something which offers us stability, security and support. Now, it can appear to be something small, like something that's not so big or something that doesn't impress us that much when we first see it. I often get that because it's pentacles. That's earth energy. It can be slow energy, but it's something that builds, and it's something that has the potential to stand the test of time. So oftentimes the thing with the Princess of Pentacles is seeing the potential in this, seeing where can this go, how can this grow. And I do see growth here because we have the Prince of Pentacles is the next one up, the Knight of Pentacles coming up as a future energy. So it looks like, now let's kind of back this up a little bit. This may be an offer on a house. It could be an offer for a job. It could, doesn't have to necessarily relate to relationships. I'm going to get to the romantic relationship aspect in a moment. But if we're looking at it purely from a practical point of view, like a job offer, this might be that, is your partner not happy with it? You'll have to apply the energies. I'm trying to give a few examples so you know how the energies can apply. There's been some kind of an offer. Now, this can be student energy. I often see the Princess of Pentacles as the student, paying attention to the details. Something that requires, it requires work and effort. And sometimes it's kind of monotonous work, like doing the same thing again and again to get to where you want to be, like revising for your exams or working away at something. And so it could be like partnerships within a business or work situation, or, your partner, if you're in a relationship, there might be conflict there. They're saying that, why do you want to take this? Can we afford this? Like those kinds of things coming up. But there is that kind of conflict here. There is a conflict between head and heart coming up just with these two cards coming in. The other thing with the Two of Swords, I just want to go back to this one for a moment, is that, this person here, why are they holding the swords like that? Because they're trying so hard to keep the balance. They're trying to keep the status quo within a situation. And this might be, that's why the person's blindfolded. It's like, I don't want things to change. I want them to stay how they are. But everything does change, right? And she can't hold the swords like that forever. She just can't. Her arms will get tired. How long can she sit there like that? So at some point, this balance that she's trying to maintain, like she's doing everything she can to maintain that balance, she has to put down one of the swords and face what it is that's coming away and make a decision or choice. So there may have been some kind of an offer that's been made and a decision has not been made regarding that. So where does this lead us? Well, right now in the present, we have the Prince of Swords, who is the Knight of Swords. So what does the Knight of Swords say? Well, the Knight of Swords, or the Prince of Swords here, is all about, what do you believe? What are your beliefs? What are your ideas? What are your thoughts about the situation? Not just knowing what they are, but then going and fighting for them. This is the knight that goes charging into battle to fight for his beliefs. I always say, like, warriors go into battle, they fight under some flag or some banner, right? They fight for their king, they fight for a cause, they fight for their beliefs. That's what this guy does. He goes in and fights for it. Now, it may be that, if there is a relationship that's on your mind, whatever that relationship may be, and there's some decision that needs to be made, he will make that decision, but he makes it by being brutally honest. He is always honest, he's always truthful, but it's not always delivered in the most tactful way, let's put it that way. It can be like brutal honesty, not as bad as the Page of Swords, but also not as eloquently delivered or as tactfully delivered as the King or Queen of Swords would be. But it does feel like the sword has to be put down. You take one of those swords and go fight for it. There is this kind of energy of fighting for a relationship or fighting for a partnership, or even if this is to do with a business partnership. And people don't like that when I start talking about business partnerships, and it could be a friendship or, a work situation, whatever that relationship is, fighting for your beliefs within that. That's very important. Now, once that happens, where does that lead? Well, it leads to the Knight of Pentacles, who's the Prince of Pentacles. And this is when progress can be made. Now, the knights always indicate progress and movement anyway. There is progress and movement when they show up because we're advancing forward. Even the Knight of Pentacles, who has a reputation of being the slowest knight in the tarot, he's slow because he gets things done. And I always think this guy is more reliable. He's the most reliable knight. He's going to get the job done, whatever this job is, whatever needs to be done. So the advice, and I would say the future, whatever comes up here, is the advice, right? And there's only one possible future. Connected to this, if we have this, so here we have the Knight of Swords fighting for whatever this connection is, fighting for this. And it might be that if you're in a situation, I'm just going to say it, if you're in a situation which is more this conflict, no meeting of the minds happening here, this is what you want. So you may have to call it a day on this situation. But that's what this guy does. He's kind of, with that sort of truth always cuts to the truth. It's always about getting to the truth. And the truth isn't always pleasant or nice. But it is going to be the truth about this connection or connect either the one that you want or the one that you have. Now you can make solid progress. The Knight of Pentacles is the one who gets the job done, but he takes one step at a time, and it's slow. It's a slow build. So if you can't make a decision, it's saying, take it slowly. Put one foot in front of the other. Make sure that's what the Knight of Pentacles is saying. I'm sorry, the Page of Pentacles here, Princess of Pentacles is saying too. Pay attention to the details. What is truly being offered to you? What is going to be the outcome of this? Where is it going to take you? And you can bet the Prince of Pentacles here knows where it's going to get taken. So what's the advice? Well, the advice is the Ten of Swords. It's a strange card to get for advice. What we see here is somebody who's kind of left face down, dead in the dirt with 10 swords in his back. And yeah, that's overkill. If you think about it, sticking 10 swords in someone, that's quite a statement. That's quite a statement. Remember, swords are our thoughts, our beliefs, our ideas, and how we communicate them. So there may have been some, I mean, this to me, this coming up here, just the combination of these 3 swords cards that are coming up here, it kind of looks like the overall energy that I'm getting is someone, this can be trying to avoid some kind of conflict, avoiding conflict in a situation, but it's not, you can't avoid it. It has to happen. And this guy will take care of that. It looks like that's the energy now. It's kind of like push comes to shove. You have to say something. Someone has to say something. And what happens is, yes, the 10 of Swords, but this is the worst has happened. So it might be someone coming clean about something they did to betray or deceive, or, but that's the advice. The advice is, it's telling you as an advice card that the worst might have happened, or no matter what happens, a new day can only dawn once no pun intended, all the cards have been laid out on the table. Everything has to be revealed. The truth has to be spoken. Then you can begin to make real solid progress towards something long term. Pentacles always talk about long term growth, something that you're in it for the long term. But that's what the Ten of Swords is telling you. It's telling you, and I mean, it is a frightening card. Let's be honest. It's not a kind of soft, fluffy, beautiful, lovely card. It's a card that talks about something painful. But once it's done, you know what the lay of the land is, you know what's going on in a situation, and then you can heal from there. This is about hitting rock bottom. So it may be that someone's not saying what a situation is because they don't want to disrupt the relationship. And it doesn't have to be within the relationship. So say you're married and there's a problem, something's happened with work, or with finance, or something else has happened, because Pentacles can indicate work, finances, something to do with the house, It says you have to come clean about it, because that's the only way that painful cycle will complete. And then you can move forward, and then you can start anew. Then you can start fresh. Well, yeah, see, there's that. Well, there you have Air sign energy. So that's, like I said, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But it's good because the king has mastery over this. He knows what he believes. He knows what he thinks, and he's able to articulate it very clearly. He can come up with logical. If there's a decision that needs to be made, this guy is never going to feel this energy. Never. He always knows. And that's because he's been through a lot of difficult situations. And it might be that, this card is reminding you that what have you not been through already that you haven't survived? Sometimes it could be something that happened a long time ago with the Ten of Swords. And it reminds you that now's the time. Remove those swords. Remove those swords. It's time to move forward from this. There's one of the tarot decks. It's the Vice Versa Tarot, and I love the Ten of Swords in that because it has depictions on both sides of the tarot deck. And on the positive, well, the front or the kind of upright position, we see someone like this. But then when we flip the card over, we see that what's actually stabbed is the armor. Well, obviously, it's not in this deck, but it's the armor that's been stabbed. The guy is sitting away from his armor. And it's saying that you may have to shed that skin, shed that part of yourself to move forward, to start anew. 6 of Wands, there we go, nice. So what these cards are saying, well, like I said, the King of Swords, he knows his mind, he knows his truth. And there's a kind of level of authenticity here. When we're not saying how we're feeling, or we're not fully putting our argument forward, especially about a relationship, we're not being authentic. Like, being authentic doesn't just mean saying the good things, it's saying everything. I feel like this, I want this, those kinds of situations. And you can bet he would have no problem saying that. And he's a king, so he goes forward. He goes forward with his truth, and he only wants the truth from other people. That's all he will put up with. Eight of Pentacles, it's about focused, diligent work. It's something that we don't mind doing because we know we're building and we're going towards something. This can be to do with a job. This can be to do with whatever this issue is. The Eight of Pentacles is telling you that, you know, you can put in the effort. This guy's going to get the job done. But it only happens after the truth is revealed, no matter how difficult or painful it is. Where does it lead? It leads to success and victory. You can hold your head up high with pride. No matter what's been done here, no matter what has been done here, once you let go of that, sometimes we can hold on to old pains, hurts, resentments, or we're not saying it, right? Because we think, well, you know, I love this person, or we work so well together, or whatever it is. I don't want to spoil that, but you won't. And the connection itself is great, but you must move forward from that, right? Right, let's pull you some extra oracle cards. Yeah, free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. And I don't know who else got this. I think someone, because you're the first one that I'm doing of today. I think it was Cancer got this yesterday. But yeah, so free yourself. That's this. This is like gagging yourself, right? Not saying what you need to say, not putting forward the argument, trying to pretend everything is right and everything is the way it should be, but it isn't. It isn't. When the Two of Swords comes up, it is not. I'm going to say this as a few of you. You're seeing your relationship as this, and it's really this. But it doesn't matter. You can't fake this. This is a true connection. And then to make that a true connection, the truth has to be spoken. You can't pretend everything is wonderful in a relationship by not saying it. You know, by not saying what's wrong. If it truly is this, you'll both be on the same page. And usually the Two of Cups, it will say that both people feel the same way. But if that's the case, then why would you not say this? Why would you not say what's wrong? Ask for help. What is it you really need help with? Be willing to allow yourself the support you need. So that's another story that comes up then, right? That is it, you're this person by yourself, trying to deal with things by yourself. But the Two of Cups is reminding you there is help here, there is support here. Maybe an air sign that's coming in to help you, or an earth sign, someone that has those qualities. But I kind of feel like they're more supportive, like you're the one that does the work. Because we have the Eight of Pentacles as you putting in the work. You're the one that gets the acclaim. And like sometimes we just need the support. We just need the support of people. Like I always say, the army at our backs. We just need that. There we go, regeneration. This is very much like the Judgment card, regeneration. It talks about something, and that's what the Ten of Swords says as well, right? It talks about something that we thought that is dead, that we've lost our chance at, you know, a job, a relationship, something that we feel like, our ability to love sometimes, our ability to get something done. We think we've lost out on that chance. And this card talks about rebirth, second chances. You know, maybe look at the surrounding. It looks like it's all burnt and gone. But then out of that is coming this beautiful tree. Out of all the reds, we see this blue and green shooting up. And it's not gone. So this can talk about second chances. For some of you, especially with this card coming up, this is going to be about, this could have been a breakup. Like, you know, this can sometimes indicate that, because the card that comes after the Two of Swords is the Three of Swords. So maybe we think it's over, something's busted, something's done here in this situation, but the connection still exists. Or our ability to love or to have this kind of a connection still exists. You'll have to apply it to your situation how you will. Sometimes as well, especially when we get the Knight of Swords and the King of Swords, we might see someone as being kind of brutal, or they might see us as being kind of brutal and immature, and, you know, you don't know what's going on, and etc., etc. But really, it's the king. The king has to make harsh decisions for the truth to come out, but the truth really does set you free. But that's the only way the regeneration can happen, by really looking at what is there. Otherwise, we can miss out on it. Okay. Let's see what this says. So the postcard from Spirit says, Dearest you, there are times when loss is a part of life. Sometimes a loss is welcome, like when you leave a situation not in alignment with your highest good. Sometimes a loss is sudden and painful, like when a loved one crosses over to our dimension. Regardless of the nature of the loss and your control over it, your experience is asking to be acknowledged. Tears are necessary, as is grief. When you repress the natural expression of loss and try to move on too quickly, the unprocessed pain haunts you in destructive ways. We don't want that for you. Instead, Let your heart break open wide. Feel the loss and integrate it. See the beauty that was. The lessons learned. That's the King of Swords knows the lessons learned. And know that as you let go of what has passed, ever more of you remains. It gets better, we promise. Your heart expands with more compassion for the world than ever before. Love heals all. We are loving you, sending you love always and forever. So, that's a few things that come up here. First of all, the Ten of Swords is saying that whatever has happened has happened. But it's time to remove those swords. It's time a new day is dawning. That's the message here. And it doesn't downplay. I mean, it's awful. Whenever this card comes up, it's an awful energy. Something awful has always happened when that card comes. But as the advice, it's saying it's time to move forward from that. And you can. There's a freeing yourself of the pain. For some of you, it may be that you've got a chance at this Two of Cups, but you're kind of stuck at the Two of Swords because you don't want to get hurt. This person just does not want to be hurt. That's the situation here. But the advice overall is the Knight of Pentacles, which is move forward slowly, go at your own pace. There's nothing wrong with going forward slowly, but you know your truth, you know who you are, and you can ultimately hold your head up high with pride and have a success and have a victory. But it is about taking the baby steps that you need to move forward.